Good morning, children. So today we will start with exercise 1.4 and here I am with explanation of the exercise. Now this exercise deals with patterns of numbers. Okay, what do you mean by pattern? Suppose you are adding 3 is 3 and after that you are adding 3 to 3 you get a 6. Again you add 3 to 6 you get a 9. Again you add 3 to 9 you get a 12 and so on. So if I just observe, from here we are getting 3, from here we got 6, here we got 9, here we got 12 and the next number will be 15. So what is happening? A pattern is being formed, right? 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12, 12 plus 3 is 15, and if I ask you the next number, I'm sure it would be easy for you to give the answer. So this is what I mean by pattern of numbers. Now you can use certain patterns. There are various patterns that you can use to make your calculations easy also. Now if I ask you what is 85 plus 8, so you might take some time to add 8 to 85 and then come up with the answer. But if I ask you what is 85 plus 10, so you can easily tell it is 95. Similarly, if I ask you what is 80 minus 10, you can easily tell it is 70. If I ask you what is 80 multiplied by 10, then you just have to put 2 zeros behind 8 and you get your answer. If I say what is 80 divided by 10, so it is 8 because you'll just cancel the zeros and you'll get your answer. So what we conclude that it is always easy to add, subtract, multiply and divide any number by 10 or its multiples. Multiples means by 10 or 100 or 1000 and so on. If you add these numbers or subtract from these numbers or multiply or divide, it is always easy to get to the answer in comparison to the other whole numbers. Okay, so we will take advantage of this and we will solve the first questions which is given to us. Simplify the following. Right now, suppose the question that is given to you is 45892 minus 999. Now if you have to carry out this subtraction, you might take some time, but it is very easy to carry out this subtraction by applying the pattern of numbers. Now what we can do here is that we'll apply a simple trick. We can write 999 as what? We can write 999 as 1000 minus 1. Yes, we can write 999 as 1000 minus 1 and now we will open the bracket. Okay, so now here is no sign, this means here is plus, so you will write minus plus is minus. Okay, remember the signs inside the bracket get multiplied with signs outside the bracket. Okay, so 1000 had no sign, this means it had a plus, so plus minus gave you a minus, but here 1 has negative sign already, so minus minus will give you a plus. This means what you have to do finally, you just have to subtract 1000 from this. So it is easy. 1000, which number is at thousands place? Ones, tens, 100, 1000. 5 is at thousands place. This means you just need to subtract 1 from 5 and remaining numbers you will copy. That is how it has become easy, that when you are subtracting 1000 from this number, all you need to do is copy remaining numbers the way they are and just subtract 1 from the number which is at thousands place, because here 1 is at thousands place, and add 1 to it. So you get 44893. So in this manner you can even solve this question verbally. Once you get into a practice of doing it, once you do these questions again and again, once you know that you have become expert in this, you can definitely solve these questions verbally without even writing all these steps. But for now, since this is new for you, you will have to use your pen and paper to solve these questions. So this was first question. I would like to repeat this step because this steps involves the use of signs, negative sign especially, which needs to be paid attention to. Okay, so what I did, I wrote 999 as 1000 minus 1, but whenever we replace any number by this sort of expression, what we do, we always enclose that in bracket. Okay, so that if there is any sign change which is required, we can deal with that. So when I wrote it like 1000 minus 1, 1000 had a plus sign and 1 had a negative sign. And when there is a bracket, why do we put bracket? So that we can multiply the signs inside with the signs outside. Only then you can open the bracket. Okay, so here is minus, here is plus. Minus plus gives you minus. So we wrote minus 1000. But here was minus, so minus minus we know, when you multiply minus by minus you get a plus, so plus 1. So you will first subtract 1000 from 45,892 and then you will add it. You will get the answer as 44,893. Now remember, because this exercise clearly says that you have to simplify them using the pattern of numbers, I would suggest that you do not carry out the subtraction directly. Rather, you follow these tricks and techniques because they will help you later on when you are doing tedious calculations. These tricks will prove to be really helpful and beneficial for you. So you need to learn them up before you go to higher classes. So please do this question instead of doing it directly. Do it using these tricks and techniques. So now we come to the next question. Next question is 568 into 999. Now this is another type of question again, but you can definitely write 999 the way you wrote 999 here, 999, 1000 minus 1. Similarly here you can write into this as 1000 minus 1. Now you all must have heard of distributive property. Now what is distributive property? Distributive property means that whatever is inside bracket, I'm just telling you a very simple trick how to remember this. We imagine that this is a house, okay, and there are two members, 1000 and 1 inside the house. 1000 and 1 are living inside the house, and this is the guest which has come to meet these two people. Okay, so what happens when this guest meets the people? He meets both of them. Okay, he shakes hands with both of them. That means that 568 will be multiplied by 1000 also. Okay, first he met 1000, he shook hands with 1000, and then because there was a minus sign, I'll put a minus sign here, and then 568 met with 1. He shook hands with 1. So this is what we call, I would write the name of the property here. This is distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. Okay, so this is very important property. This you would need to learn and know and apply even in the higher classes. Okay, so this is just the beginning. I request you to kindly pay extra attention to this. I would repeat, 999 is written as 1000 minus 1, and you can write it as, this is distributive property. Imagine this is a house where people are living. There are two persons inside the house, 1000 and 1, and 568 is the guest. Now when guest enters the house, he meets with both the people. So 568 will shake hands with 1000, and you will put minus sign the way it was, and 568 will again meet 1. So 568 into 1. So you write 568. You know, it is always easy to multiply 1000 by 568. So you get 568 like this. And now you will subtract 568000 by 568, right? And whatever answer comes, you will solve and write it down. Okay.